I'm Carolyn. This is Two Girls and a Cat.
I'm Sam.
And this is a review of Thor Ragnarok, which we've just been to see this afternoon.
Literally. Just come back from it.
Yeah. Really, really good. Was it your... It's not my favourite Marvel movie.
No, it's not my favourite, but it is up there. So
it's a total... well, the theme is following the 80s sort of vibe that you get with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really, it was very Tron.
Very Tron, electro-pop. You get that Flash Gordon-esque sort of cinematography to it.
I was reading while you were upstairs that he based it on... He kind of was really heavily influenced by Big Trouble in Little China, and I can see that.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, we'll just point out that this is a spoiler review.
So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know any of things that happen in the movie, just turn off now rather than comment later and say, oh, you spoiled it. This is a spoiler review. If you're going to watch a review, we're going to talk about the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know, then maybe best to watch this after you've seen the movie.
Yes. So first impressions, it's bright, it's hilarious.
It's a laugh a minute.
It is. You do not stop laughing. It's not like Deadpool. I laughed from start to finish. There was some gaps in that were very serious.
There's always like a subtle joke in every scene, at least one.
I had a feeling what I was getting myself into when we went to see this because I really like the director. I can't say his name. I'm not even going to try and say his name. I'm sorry. But he did the vampire on the Wall documentary of We Live in the Shadows, and it is one of my favourites. It's hilarious. The guy is so funny. So if you know that film and you know him, you'll understand why there's a lot of New Zealand people in there. And Kate Blanchett and Carl Urban, Sam Neill.
Loved Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett was in fact my favourite thing about that movie. I know it probably wasn't, I think it was yours. No. But she was definitely my favourite thing. The whole look of her. She had the best character look of the whole thing.
The look was down.
Her makeup, her costumes, just the way... She was very in the manner of when she was in Lord of the Rings and she goes all that kind of dark side of her. That really came through, and you thought she had no redeeming features.
No. She
was just bad.
I didn't see. This is why I love when we go a little bit deeper into Marvel, because I want to go and learn about Hela. I want to know about her. I want to know about the Valkyrie. I just thought she was brilliant. We have pointed out the spoiler review. I was just going to go. Should I say this?
Just go into it.
So Hela is the sister of Thor and firstborn child of Odin, and therefore rightful heir to the throne. And Odin does die, and
bye bye Anthony Hopkins.
Bye bye, and it was beautiful how he went.
Who was sent away by Loki, who we thought was dead. Yeah, and then comes back, and you find out that he was put into a care home in New York City, and nobody knew. And then he ends up in Norway. Yeah,
and he's just there, sitting there, waiting to die, and gets taken off obviously to Valhalla, and it was a beautiful way to do it. How they he just
floated away in a poof of glitter,
and it was great. That's how I want to go out.
Yeah, float out just across the sea,
glitter everywhere.
But it was quite nice that you saw in this film that you really did. I think more than the other Thor films, that you see that Loki and Thor are very much brothers.
Yeah.
Even though you always think, oh, Loki's going to stab him in the back. And he does try.
He does try a few times.
He does try to big way, but he's it's like, oh, come on, don't be like that. And
Thor is getting used to it. So he's one step ahead of him.
He doesn't take it personally anymore. No, he just thinks this is what he's like.
Yeah, and he says that to him, and I think that hurt him.
It's like, you are you and I am me, and we're never going
to be the same, and I think that really hurt.
Loki looked
upset.
Hurt. Yeah.
He did look upset. There was some great cameos in it. For one, there was Matt Damon, and you see a really, really good scene where who you think is Odin, but it's in fact Loki. Well, it's
pretending
Loki.
To be Loki.
If you sat through Thor 2, good on you. But if you did, you would have seen Loki did take Asgard at the end of Thor 2. Yeah. And we knew it was him, and you could tell it wasn't Odin. Wouldn't be just sitting lying back watching.
He's pretending to be Odin, watching a theatrical performance where Loki is the hero of Asgard. So that gave it away straight off.
Straight away.
And you see that Matt Damon plays Loki in this sort of pretend.
And I believe it's Liam Hemsworth plays Thor.
Is it Luke or Liam Hemsworth? Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth plays Thor, and Sam Neill, who I honestly couldn't see at all.
We couldn't place who it was.
I couldn't at all see who it was playing Odin. And then we had Doctor Strange was in it. Well, you saw it on Doctor.
I totally forgot that he was even in that there. Yeah,
when
he was
one scene, but you knew it was coming because it was the end of Doctor Strange's film. You see Thor there, and so you kind of knew, and you all knew from the trailer. You'd watched the trailer, you'd seen it, and he points them in the direction of where actually Odin is. And then you had the obligatory Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, where he's the barber.
He cut his hair.
Yeah, you see, a lot more heavy involvement of Hulk. He was in like half the movie. He was like one of the major characters, and I didn't expect that because in the trailer, you just kind of get the impression that he and Thor meet up. Obviously, they've been captured and pitted against each other, and you think, "Oh, right." But what you don't realise is that they then create the Revengers. Original. And without Hulk, without all of them together, they couldn't have done it.
No, they couldn't have. And you find out that Hulk has been Hulk for 2 years straight. He's been the Hulk, and he's developed talk. He can talk and he can communicate. I think he kind of knows who Thor is. Yeah, but he's not. He's just the Hulk, isn't he? He's very angry, and he gets very angry all the time. He was brilliant. Mark Ruffalo did him really well.
And Mark Ruffalo, when he turns back to being Banner, has to find some clothes, and the only clothes he can find are those of Tony Stark. So it's nice that you get that little. You see, there's a very, very short scene of where you get to see Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, very, very clipped.
It's it's the final scene of
Age of Ultron,
when she does that video message to him, and that replays repeatedly in the background, and obviously stings Banner because Banner's just. We've got a kitty brawl in our hands. When Banner comes back to being Banner, obviously realisation kicks in that he's been that way for a long time.
He's been away for 2 years.
And if he goes back to being Hulk, he may not come back out again. But to be honest...
He's gone back to being Hulk at the end, so who knows if this is it.
He knew he had to, and that scene was so funny. He jumps out this hero's jump of this plane and then just smack bang straight on the side as Bruce Banner. It was
there's a scene where Valkyrie doesn't seem to realise that Banner is the Hulk because she knows the Hulk really well, but doesn't have a clue who Banner is because, as far as she's concerned,
she just keeps laughing and just keeps going, I know who you are.
Who are you? I recognise you. And he's like, yeah, I know you too, because he doesn't really recognise her. And then when it all starts kicking off, he's like, right, well, I need to show you who I am. Jumps out of the aircraft, pop.
And blow on the floor. It's so funny.
On the surface, and he's still Banner. And she's like, what are you doing? Like, and then you see he becomes the Hulk, and she's like, that's who you are.
The title's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's quite misleading, I feel. The title is Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok is something that will happen to Asgard. It is foretold where Asgard will burn to ashes. I don't think that's what people were going to be expecting. It doesn't play a huge part.
It's the whole premise at the end was the lesson from Odin is that Asgard isn't a place, it's the people, and it's the atmosphere, and it's the whole belief system that they have when they're all together. So at the end, obviously, you see Thor become King Thor.
We don't know of where,
King of Asgard, but Asgard's now on a spaceship.
Yep. Well, the people of Asgard are on a spaceship. It was really good. I am shocked that we seem, of every Marvel film we get, it's always something different, but still has the same feel. but still just follows in line. It just, I don't know how to do it.
This is really close to Guardians of the Galaxy. You do get that hint of James Gunn influence running through with the whole soundtrack, the look of it, the costumes, the humour. It's very, very... That's the direction that they're going in. I mean, we were talking about it on the way back, weren't we, that if you compare it with the first, I don't know, even first Captain America film, which is, I know it's a different story altogether, but even the first Avengers film, there is no comparison.
No.
They've gone in a completely different direction. And I don't know if that's because of the influence of Disney, or it's the directors.
It's probably more to do with the directors and the fact that the Kevin Feige, who is the mastermind, not like the mastermind, but the creative, what you see creatively of Marvel comes directly from him, and oh god, this camera, comes directly from him, and it's what am I trying to say? I'm too tired. I've got a stunting headache, and I'm too tired. I think it's the directors. That's what I'm trying to say. I think the directors are the biggest influences when it comes to how the film is laid out, and I believe Kevin Feige stops the studios and says, "Let them be. Let them do what let them do what they need to do." Because when the studio got too involved, we got the likes of Iron Man 3 and Thor 2, and I'm sorry,
no one needs that again.
And I'm sorry if anyone likes them. But that, for me, was the downside of Marvel, and it got to the point when I was watching Thor 2 and I thought, that's it. I can't do anymore. I am done. And then Winter Soldier came out.
Well, because Marvel's cool again.
Yeah.
Basically, in a nutshell, Marvel is so cool again. And they've really... I mean, I think it's just more relatable to the audience who want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, the music's there.
Oh, the soundtrack was incredible.
The quality of the actors who were there. They've really brought out the personal side of the characters. I mean, obviously, to some degree, the comics, obviously are the backbone of whatever the stories are. But they've really took it to that.
Yeah.
Even sort of 3 to 4, 5 levels above that. You're getting into things that you would never have even thought of if you read a story about it. You think, oh, I didn't know that, that's the sort of thing that, I don't know, Thor might have said, or that, it's that background story is solid.
It is.
It really comes through.
And I can't wait for where they go, and Infinity Wars, and even beyond Infinity Wars, where they take Marvel. I am probably enjoying Marvel movies, and I'm more Marvel comics at the minute. Yeah. I just think they've got a solid story, and it's great that everything, you can have your side stories, but it's still all going to interlink with this one, which will be, for now, Infinity Wars, which I think is great. There's one person who we forgot to mention who deserves all the praise of this one.
There's a cat.
There's a cat.
If for those of you who think there's no cats in these videos,
there's a cat.
There is one right behind us.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is
incredible.
Really, really, really good.
Really good.
The humour is brilliant.
Excellent.
And he's slightly camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly camp. And I don't know are we going to see him in any more?
Well, if we notice, and this will link Guardians, like you said, the feel of Guardians with Thor. He was on the end trailers for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He was in that dance sequence on the credits. Right. At the end, he was there. I am positive I heard one of Guardians of the Galaxy's planets, Xandar. I am positive I heard that in there.
Well, we see, don't we, that in Infinity Wars, you see Thor land on the Galaxy ship. Yeah. And so Thor ends up there somehow, and one of the last credits that we saw, the scenes at the end,
I still was a little bit hazy on that.
We're not quite sure what that was at the end. You see this scene where they're basically floating through space, don't know where to go, thinking let's just probably just go to Earth.
I'm just really hazy on what.
And then you see this other big
thing. It's a thing. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to be one of those people when Thanos came at the end of Avengers and went, "Oh, I know who he is." I was like, "Don't quite know who that is." Get on the internet. Purple alien. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. I really don't. I wish I did. Please tell us if you've seen it and can clarify what it is. That'd be great.
Is that the reason that, maybe somehow Thor gets thrown off that, gets into some other altercation with somebody, ends up floating through space and finds the guys in the galaxy? Is this what's going to happen?
I have no idea.
Something's got a link from the end of that film into Infinity Wars.
I'm trying to rack my brains as to what we've got before Infinity Wars.
Black Panther.
So this is the last Marvel film of the year, and it's a great one to end on. We've got Black Panther in February. Do we have Infinity Wars in May? Or is it the summer film?
I think it's July. I don't know why, but I think it might be July.
Because Marvel gets February, July, August, and then the end. They always had 3. So this year it was... What was the first one? Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
Was it Doctor Strange?
Oh, no, Doctor Strange was last year.
What was the beginning of this year? Because we had Spider-Man. This. Guardians, that was it. Guardians, Spider-Man, Thor. So I'm trying to rack my brains as to where everything...
The other one. Cat number 2.
Hi there. I'm not going to bother this one. So it was, this is probably, again, when we do a review like this, straight off, we've literally walked through the door. It's going to be all over the place because our brains are all over the place. I have to, Carolyn will vouch for this, have to watch something quite a few times to get it locked in there as to what I have just seen. Mm-hmm. Because my memory is shocking. Hello there, Romeo.
Well, go and see it.
Please.
It is incredible.
Funny.
There's new characters there for you to get to know before Infinity War hits, because we all know that Valkyrie is Infinity Wars. She is, because she was in, apparently, she was in Durham where they were filming.
Right. Was that her actual name? Because I know she's part of the Valkyries.
She's down as Valkyrie.
Oh, right, okay.
So
I didn't quite hear if she had a name or not.
She was given this, weird number.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
She's the last of the Valkyries, so she's Valkyrie.
Oh, right, okay. So, see, I want to know about and I want to know about Hela, and I want to know more about... See, this is why I love these films, for, and they give us something that I want to go, right, well, I want to go and know more about this person and that person, and I probably will at some point include them in one of my articles that I write. Who knows? It is funny. The guy who directs it also actually is in it, which I had no doubt about. He plays probably the guy who stole every scene he was in.
Everybody was laughing.
Every scene. He is hilarious. Cork. That's his name? Cork. Mm-hmm. And he is one to watch out for. He was so funny throughout. There was you can tell that, I was reading some things before we started, that this was highly improvised. People got to go, and you can feel that it's not scripted. Yeah. It moves naturally. It flows naturally. It was just funny from start to finish, with some sort of serious undertone. Then some of those scenes that you see with Hemsworth and Ruffalo, when Hemsworth is trying to goad him into, he basically tries to goad him into being, oh, well, you're rubbish and you're not that great. So then he will turn around and say, well, I'll show you and I'll join you and I'll come back and fight for you. That's his idea. Yeah. And you see that there's all these sort of little insults being thrown. It did feel very improvised. Yeah, it just feels natural. When you go off a script, you go word for word. If you are reacting to somebody's, what they've just said, it needs to be natural. You can't
it doesn't quite flow the right way.
It wouldn't flow the right way. So you can tell it's highly improvised. Even Hela, when she's trying to be serious, she still has this undertone of sarcasm in her.
She's got she's humorous, and that, there's a scene where they're like, we don't know who you are, and she's like, did you not just hear what I just said? I'm just wasting my time. I've just been standing there giving this really grand speech, and then she's like, oh, for God's sake, I've just told you who I am.
Yeah. And did you notice as well, do you think that all of Thor's children who are bad wear green? Lucky her.
Yeah, the bad ones can wear green, so we can identify them. Yeah.
Thor, you wear red. You wear regal and red and gold.
You wear colours. Red and be blonde and blue-eyed, and the bad ones will be black-haired, pale-skinned, and wear green.
Yep, you be the baddies. One thing before we end this is the fact that Thor loses his eye.
He loses an eye, everybody.
Now,
You're like, what the hell?
What I found was really clever in the trailer, that scene when she says, you're the god of...
What are you the god of?
Yeah. And then you see him land on the floor, wherever it was, and he had 2 eyes.
Yes.
Obviously he doesn't have 2 eyes when that scene happens, he only has the 1.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very clever how in the trailer they didn't show you that he loses his eye.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
He gets like a little Odin patch as well. Aww, Hemsworth lost an eye. I'm sure Doctor Strange can give him an eye.
Maybe Doctor Strange can give him his eye back.
That would be interesting.
Tony Stark can give him like a bionic
eye, that'd be
pretty cool.
That'd be cool. So we've got a lot to look forward to in Marvel. Jesus, we've got Black Panther and Infinity Wars, and there's Ant-Man and Wasp, and we're gonna have another Spider-Man film, possibly Venom, but that's part of Sony, so who cares? Because Tom Hardy's in it. Hey, who cares? And also, it's just been, it was announced not long ago, or mentioned, that they're starting the Gambit film. Have I read that right?
Right.
I might be wrong. Comment below if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But they've also named, well, this is DC, but Shazam as well. Just getting interesting. Getting very interesting.
It's exploding on the comic front with the films, let's put it that way.
Let's just hope Justice League is good. And then on that note, we'll end.
we'll give any precursors regarding Justice League, because I just think you're either going to be very surprised or very disappointed. There is no middle ground.
For one, as a comic book lover and reader and appreciating of the art and what it is, I want to see this film do really well. Just like I wanted to see Batman vs Superman do really well. It's just a shame that Zack Snyder has to be a part of it. However, Wonder Woman's in it, so it can't be that bad. Can't be.
She's getting paid. So, but Wonder Woman 2 is going to happen. So I'm going with that.
We can only hold hope, and we will do something for Justice League.
Yes,
when the time is right.
Right. Anyway, that's a wrap then.
That's it. Because I really do have the worst headache in the world, and I'm ready to chill out now. So, thank you very much, and please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. Thank you, and all the lovely comments that we're getting. It is lovely to see. We appreciate it. Thank you, and also remember, like, share, subscribe. Our artwork is done by the amazing Ray Paez, who actually commented on one of them saying, "I'm a magician."
I did see it.
So yes, thank you, and that's it. That's it from us.
Yeah. So until next time, don't know what the next thing's probably going to be. I haven't decided yet.
We need a schedule. We will think of a schedule. We will do that.
Any suggestions? Comment below if you want us to see.
We are not doing Walking Dead though.
We're not going to do Walking Dead anymore.
No. And we're not going to do Walking Dead. We're not going to do Stranger Things. I feel that there's too many people cover that. I might give you thoughts on it, even though I've already seen it. It's probably why I've got a headache. I did a 9-hour marathon last night.
Likely what it is.
Probably what it is. So yes, well, thank you again. Thank you. Thanks very much now.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.